Hey guys, it's a beautiful day in South Carolina. I just figured I would show you guys around the farm a little bit, the homestead, both. I reckon we have a tree farm. We grow loblolly pines. They are pine trees that grow 2x4s. It's usually what I tell people is we grow 2x4s. So we've got multiple different tracks here. This one here is right at our front entrance, and you can see that they're plantation pines, which means they're planted in rows. There's a row right there. It looks like different roads, and we do have some trails in here. This is one of my favorite features on the farm, right here. I tell people about this, and they're like, oh my gosh, you must be rich. No, pretty cheap. I just wanted fuel. So this one is ethanol-free gasoline, and this one is off-road diesel for the tractor and everything. These tanks I got from Facebook, and the stickers I got from Tractor Supply, and the pumps I got from Tractor Supply. These jokers here, I paid $150 for the big one and $100 for the small one, and I had to go get it. They are heavy, so that was kind of a pain, but if you go to buy them brand new, they're like $3,000. And these actually used to be kerosene tanks for people that had kerosene heaters back in their day. And these older houses, people are upfitting them and so on. Chances are if somebody has one of these next to their house, they don't use it any longer. But like I said, I found mine on the Facebook Marketplace. They're back. All right, we got to take Mom and John up to the house. Sleeping like a baby. He is a baby. And not sleeping like a almost 7-year-old. Well, here in a little bit I'll show you guys the coolest part of the property. It's actually Jace's property on the other side. It's got a beautiful view. We've got a lot of different aspects of our property. It's one of the reasons we bought it back in the day is we've got the plantation pines, we've got creeks and ditches, and the big creek, which is not a river, it's technically a creek, but it's pretty big, and hilltops and valleys and fields. So hardwood tracks as well. It really changes a lot. So we love it, but we'll show you the coolest part here in just a minute. Here's our trailer storage. Our auger's up here because it actually is a buddy's. The other side of the camper deal. We do have a workshop up here as well, and some other trailers stored on the other side. There's our beehive. Let's go down the hill to one of the bridges. Just a little stream. It does dry up in the summertime sometimes, but this area is so lush and beautiful, and we like to play down in it sometimes. Down in the creek. You playing down in there? Not to be confused with down in the holler. We'll go down the holler here in just a minute. Show everybody what's up there. All right, right in here. In here we've got our newer planted pines. These are 5-6 years old at this point. When we planted them, they were like less than a foot tall. It's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, on this side of the road, we're gonna have to bring the sheep down here. Honestly, we're gonna have to get more sheep because this is a lot of gums. I don't know if you know. And there's an ant pile on a stump.
It's huge.
Which is awesome for us.
That is huge.
It is huge.
Mom told that she did not want to step in it.
Well, yeah, of course. Nobody wants to step in an ant pile. That would be awful. But we like ants and termites around here because they do eat our stumps up. When they harvest trees, they just leave the stumps. Also, whenever we replant trees, we replant the trees pretty close together. If you notice, they're about 5 feet apart or so. In here is also a ton of blackberries. All this is blackberries. All this stuff. And there's a kid on the top of the golf cart. So as I was saying, they plant the plantation pines close together so they will grow straight up instead of growing out like a bush. They grow straight up, and then they'll come and harvest basically every other tree. They'll cut rows in and stuff, which you can tell over on this side of me, up the hill, there's a more established timber tract. All right, right up here, we're coming up a path that usually goes up to the house, but right now we're running the sheep through it. So there's our sheep house and there's the sheep fence. The sheep and meat birds are up in this chunk of land. And of course, there's the old house and the American flag.
There it
Oh,
is.
say, does that banner yet wave? Sure enough, it does around here.
Ah, don't want to fall off.
Yeah, don't fall off. Over here, we've got our nice weed garden. That sounds bad. I was just joking. It's just stuff. But these are blackberries again. Again, haven't run the sheep through yet because we're still new to this place. Of course, our house has a basement. We built these stone steps. This pipe is here because it will eventually go up under the ground. I need to put in a sprinkler system and run the spigot over there to our garden, even though we got a spigot on this side of the house and on this side of the house. We just planted, this is actually winter rye growing. There is zoysia seed in there as well. I know I should have put the irrigation in before putting the seed down, but I figured some growing's better than none growing. And here's the tractor we bought with the money from the timber. I've used the heck out of it. It's a John Deere 4210. It's got a seat cover on it that obviously needs a new one. And this little guy, people always ask me, why don't you get a bigger tractor? Why don't you get a better tractor? Get something, it's a 30 horse. I do have a 4-in-1 bucket on it. And honestly, this goes between the rows of the trees beautifully. Got the box blade on the back, got the bush hog. That's a wood chipper. So we did chip a lot of the woods for over there because obviously we got plenty of limbs and stuff. But this is a 4-wheel drive tractor. The 4-in-1 bucket means that it opens and closes, so I can grab logs. This can grab a whole tree. I can pretty much push a tree over and grab it. Not a hardwood, but a pine tree. And then the box blade is how I make the road nice, maintain the road, and put more rock, put it on the road. So we really, really like it. Like I said, we fill it up here on site at the gas pump. We definitely could not have done all this by ourselves without it. But I got a quote to put in a road and it was double the price of a tractor. So I said, well, let's get a tractor and do it ourselves. And it's taken years, but our road is pretty decent. We got a good base. We do need to get another 1,000,000 pounds of rock in here and dump it and make it purty. But, you know, we're just chipping away as we can. All right, here we got our garden. You can watch our garden video and how we put this fence up. It's obviously not finished because I have 2x4x12s and I need 2x4x16s, and we used lumber that we had left over from the house for everything else. The chicken coop, you can watch the video on that as well. We've loved it. It's been pretty great. I like the aesthetics of it. Jace's fun ground here and stuff for Jack and John and Jace. And our ninja obstacle course. And of course, our hammocks, and that's a pocket swing they call it, which is the miniature hammock that you swing on. And then I built this thing, which I think is awesome. Our septic system actually runs through here, through the woods. And so some of the trees died as we dug next to them. We tried to keep as many as we could. Some of them we had to take out, but all the big trees we tried to keep, and a few of them died, these pines. And they actually, I don't know, I'm assuming they got weak and then they got some beetle infestation. But we fell them, and we just used the stumps and cut them with chainsaws. Cut them to length and use the tractor to hoist these bad boys up here because they are so heavy. And we've got a nice balance beam. Whoa, whoa! This part's really cool because Jay says this is a secret base. But look at this topography here. We call it Paintball Gorge. The moss is beautiful.
You can go farther.
Cool cedar stump there. And there's just like random hills and mountains and valleys, and very abruptly. And water never flows in here. We don't ever see water in here. And this is kind of catty corner to our house up there. This is, yeah, it's right there. And this is a hardwood tract that we built our house on. So there's, I don't know how many acres. All right, we're on the other side of the house now in a plantation pine tract, surrounded by hardwood tract, I guess on 3 sides. And we're going down the hill. All right, so down here is a totally different temperature. Today it's about 77 degrees out, and down here it's got to be like 10 degrees cooler. There is a deer stand and a feeder down here. The deer like this area. It's so lush. There's a large canopy, and it's pretty open, as you guys can see.
When it rained a couple weeks ago, it was like a flood all over there.
Yep, the water level came up to about here. Pretty cool. And all of this stuff was on our nature hike video, if you check that out. But we're about to go to one of our favorite spots on the farm, Jace's farm. I'm gonna drive all the way around to it, even though it's just right through those woods. Back in 2015, there was a flood in Colombia. And about a couple weeks before that, we had a bridge right here that connects over to Jace's property, which is right there. But it obviously washed away, so we rebuilt it. And then a few weeks later, there was a hurricane that came through. And we said, you know, maybe we should hold off on the bridge for now. Maybe the Lord's trying to tell us something.
Dad, can we go to my farm now?
Yep, let's go. So excited. We had to drive about a half mile up the road and then go through this deeded access point to get to Jace's farm, but we're almost there. Where are we?
At my farm. My house is gonna be right there. And Jack's house is gonna be maybe right here. Then John's house is gonna be like here. neighbors.
And where's your house? Back over here?
Yep.
Awesome. Right, what?
Right there. Pretend that the tree is my house.
Awesome.
Right now. And way down there is just nothing.
Well, woods. We're growing some timber. Right now, this all has 5-6-year-old loblolly pines on it. About similar to the other ones. And when Jace turns 18, this can be his land. And he wants to build his brothers some houses. This is one of our favorite places because of the view. You can see for so far, even with the trees here. And our farm is actually right over there. Our house, I should say. All of it's our farm. But way over there at the next hilltop, where that tree's sticking up, that's near our house. Our house is technically probably right there where that huge eagle's flying. And it's so quiet. It's so nice out here. And the views are amazing. So, Jace loves checking on his trees. Hey bud, you remember when these trees were all like this tall right here?
Yeah, now they're like that tall.
Stand next to them now, because they used to be like teeny tiny, and now,
They used to be like that tall.
yeah, and now this isn't even the biggest one. So tall. They're,
That's like the biggest one.
that one is very big. Pretty cool down here. I hope you enjoyed the video and the tour, the golf cart tour of our homestead and all the different areas and aspects of our homestead. We're still knocking away at it, doing one thing at a time, and letting our sheep eat away at some of our extra woods. So feel free to subscribe and go check out our other videos on the chicken coop and the garden, and we'll keep posting as we do other cool stuff around the farm. So you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.